rulership of the heathen nations spearheaded by Esau right now, man.
That's right.
And as we mentioned earlier, the judgment is gonna be a great judgment, man. It's gonna have to take out millions and billions of people simultaneously, and this is the way through war.
Yep. I'll get this precept for you right here. It's the book of Second Esdras, Second Esdras chapter 16. Um, and you can come on in, break it down, Elder Yeshua. I think we got another
Come,
brother.
go ahead. Let me turn up the volume.
Second Esdras 16 and 22. You got it, bro. Hey, shalom to the guy. Shalom to the guy from Melbourne.
Hey, Shalom, Akia,
Shabakata.
Yeah. Mike, he muted his mic. His mic.
His mic is mute.
Salakia, Shalom. Y'all Bashim Yashar Barakatham. Shalom, Akim.
Shalom, Bashim Barakatham.
Yo, Bashim Shabakata.
Yeah. So I'll read it for you, Elder Yashar, and then you can break it down.
Yeah.
This is Second Esdras. Excuse me. Second Esdras chapter 16, verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the others that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Yeah, so within the war, the war to come, World War III. All right, there's going to be a lot of things that's going to take place. There's going to be a lot of plagues that the Heavenly Father Yahweh is going to send. So if you don't die in World War III, or you're gonna be taken out by hunger, famine, and then from there, if you don't die by famine, which is lack of food, you haven't eaten for a long time, there's no water. Guess what? This water is going to get to you. If you don't die by the bullet, guess what's going to take you up? Like Apostle Haas says, these niggas going to eat those. They're going to eat those missiles. That's what's going to take out a lot of our people, man. Especially if you happen to be in the land of America, to where you get deceived. You take the microchip, the mark of the beast. You better be ready, to basically hug that missile, man.
That's right.
Because if you jump to, are you gonna read you
I can read whatever you want me to read, brother. What you want me to go to?
I was gonna say when you jump to verse 33, Brother Kusha, Elder.
33.
Yeah, 33, because I was today when I was on the street, I went into how these all those YNs, okay, them YNs that be talking crazy, talking tough, like I'm like, yo, like you YNs be talking tough, but now the draft is coming, so let's see how tough you are,
God. This is the book of Second Esdras, 16, verse 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. Women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. It says, verse 34. It says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine.
Right. So the virgins, Shemon is going into young women. All right, the young women. Okay, young women also the ones who have not been touched. Okay, you're not gonna have no man to take care of you or take you in, unless, okay, how about Shem shall have mercy upon you? You run into the elect man, the true man of Yahweh Shem Yashar, who's gonna have that stability with them. Then you're gonna be all right. But if you don't got that, guess what? You through, you down. And the women Shemon have no husband, because your husband eventually. I was watching this little video that was put up by one of the elder from my GMS LA. The little video says, man, look, to you women out there, man, your husbands are going to be drafted if they're under 39, they're gone. Okay, you got kids, whatever. Guess what? Your husbands are going to be gone. They're going to be over there in the so-called Middle East fighting that World War III. So you're going to be left with no husband. All right, the daughter Shemon have no helpers. Yeah, who's gonna be out there to help this woman out? Nobody.
Yeah, that's why in that day, because it goes back to Isaiah chapter 3, towards the end of it, it tells you that all the men gonna die in the war, and she gonna be lamenting on the ground, having no help.
Yep.
Right.
That's right. And then in the wars, this is investigative forces in the wars, should their bridegrooms be destroyed and their husbands should perish with famine, and that's eventually what's gonna happen. You know, the ones that go to war, you ain't coming back to America. There's no way, like I said today, there's no way these dudes, you know, the ones who joined the army a couple years ago, there's no way you're gonna go to USA. That's like a Middle East, okay, the so-called Middle East. There's no way you're gonna go over there, and then you think, you know, you think to yourself when ESO calls peace and safety, you think, oh, you know what, I can get a little break, come back to USA. No, I don't think that's gonna happen, man. You're gonna be
I
stuck
know it
over
ain't gonna
there.
happen. I know it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna
Yeah,
happen.
that it ain't gonna
Yeah.
happen because Apostle have been saying like once the microchip comes in, which you know, which we believe, you know, to the spirit, that's gonna be represented when you know, through that peace and safety. Once that microchip gets here, shit is gonna move fast. Niggas ain't gonna have time to, oh, you know, let me go on this fucking flight, go back to USA or whatever country. Let me go see my family. You through, you finished, man.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be no R&R. Like so when we was in Iraq, when we was in
Yep,
Iraq, we had this shit called R&R where we could go from where they let us go home. And they I don't know how they did it, but they trusted us to come back, which we did. I came back. You know what I'm saying? I went
yep,
home R&R once and I came back and shit. And they're not gonna have no R&R because you niggas them niggas ain't coming back. Well, if they get if
hell
let
yeah,
that desert, that sandbox, and they get home,
yeah,
they not gonna do that. They not getting on the plane going back to the sand and fight. That niggas gonna be on a run. So no,
yeah,
they gonna have that
yep.
chip. Yeah,
And then Elder, have you seen lately? Like nobody's trying to join the army, man. So once you get there, they're gonna have you locked in. You fucking
yeah,
locked in. You basically gonna be locked up. You're gonna be locked up in a whatever warehouse over there in a fucking or base, army base over there in the Middle East.
straight
Yep.
up, bro. Straight up. It ain't lying, bro. I'm saying I've been in the army. I know what time it is, and you ain't coming home, man. Ain't gonna be no home to come home to. Right? Ain't gonna be
Right.
Yep.
no patriotism. You know what I mean? Hey,
Yeah.
kid, bro, you
Yeah.
got
No, I was just saying, just to back up the bro. You know, remember the video with the Marine, all right, that they ushered out of the building.
they
That
broke
was
his.
what he was going into. And remember, he said, you know, people need to wake up. We're sending our sons and daughters over there to fight, which is not even our war.
Yep.
So that's pretty much that's the sentiment that's going on. And see now every American, aka Babylonian, right now, their eyes are set against coming against the Trump administration. So civil war is brewing now.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah. It's getting
You
real.
know,
Yeah,
so these things, as you know, as the scripture says, you know, back in the chapter before, Second Ezra 16, these words are faithful and true. We are seeing the prophecies play out right before our very eyes in real time.
yeah. Matter of fact, I'll get that since you mentioned it.
You
Second.
know,
And and you can't tell us all those non-believers, man. You can't fucking come here and say, oh man, nah, man, World War III is going, it's not gonna happen in our generation. It's gonna take another 100 years. Go fuck yourself. It's like for my language, Akim. But
That's
no,
true.
like we here right now. There's no turning back. I don't care if they, you know, bringing in that peace and safety. I don't care, you know, if they say, oh, everything is back to normal. We already know what time we're in, man.
Yeah,
that's right.
straight up. Hey, Kahan, I got this precept for you, man. Second Ezra 15, 1 and 2. This is it says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. Um, verse 2, it says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
That's
Yeah,
right, man.
as
And all
go ahead, Slocky.
the
You
all
got
right,
to,
all right,
you got
Kaka. Yeah, man. So like we were going into earlier, all of this is prophecy, man. There's nothing anybody could do to stop this. You know, there's a lot of people on the internet talking about, oh, you know, these governments are doing it for money or for power or for whatever reason it is, you know, jeopardizing people's lives, you know, killing innocent people. But in reality, all of this is prophecy, man. And this is
That's
what the
right.
Lord sent the prophets to warn his people about, man. Like, look, this judgment is coming regardless whether you believe it or not to be part of the Lord's judgment. It's coming, you
Mhm.
know. And if you don't hearken unto this word, you're gonna get caught up in the midst of it. You know, I had done a lesson earlier this week. You know, I was speaking with somebody that I had mentioned the truth to them, you know, and about the whole World War III, the microchip, and they were worried. They came to me and they were like, "Damn, man, you know, this whole Iran, Israel, U.S. situation is getting crazy, man. I hope the Lord have mercy on us and this shit don't get out of hand. And in my mind, I'm like, you see, Jake always trying to look for the Lord when it's too late, man. Like we've been
Mhm.
telling you people that this is the judgment of the Lord that is coming, regardless of whether you believe in Him or not.
God. Yeah, that goes right into Isaiah the 6th chapter. You know, when Yahweh told Isaiah to prophesy until the land be left utterly desolate, till the cities be wasted. All right, that's why their ears are going to be, dull of hearing. Okay, they're not going to understand. That also alludes back to Isaiah the 28th chapter, where it talks about precept must be upon precept, line upon line, here little and there little, that they may be taken and fall backward. So the only time they're going to realize and wake up to the truth, okay, is the fact when those missiles are just going to drop. Then they're going to go, oh shit, them brothers was telling the truth, you know.
It's too late.
And Yahweh Shah said it perfectly in Matthew the 25th chapter, where he even went into the 10 virgins. 5 were wise, Salaki, and 5 were foolish. So even when the famine of the word comes, you're gonna have, yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Elder Yeshua, I'm gonna mute your mic real quick, bro. So, uh, hear me?
Yeah, Cotton, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute it real quick, and then I'll
Yeah,
bring you.
I'm outside, so there's a little like noises and shit.
It's all good, bro. It's all you good, bro. I'm just gonna mute it a little bit so the
Yeah.
brother can talk.
Good.
You got it, brother. Slaki.
All good, all good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even when you get I think that's Matthew 25, where it talks about the 10 virgins, 5 were wise and 5 were foolish. Because even in that time when the famine of the word comes, niggas is gonna be out here looking for answers, but it's gonna be too late. You won't come out here talking about, where you, hey, I went and got 5 Bibles. Would you say the name was? How about you? Yeah. No, it's too late.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be able to sit up here and oh, can you break this down? And what you said was gonna happen, and you said something about World War III, but no, Yahweh Shemal Shah don't want you to come after the fact. Okay, the grace period is just about closing. You want to come right now, get all that you can right now.
I got a precept for you, bro. This is Isaiah 55.
If I may comment real quick,
Yeah.
I'm sure you others have noticed too that Esau here in the mainstream media, they pretty much trying to rock the people back to sleep and telling them that they win in this war, that everything's under control. So Jake is just gonna go back into sleep mode, like, oh yeah, we're good. Everything's is getting settled and whatnot. And then it's gonna be too late when they notice that Esau was lying to them. When all hell's breaking loose, man. Gas prices going up, food is gonna go up, inflation. Like there's a shitload of things that are coming from this conflict, and people, especially here in Babylon, man, they're not even aware of it.
Yep. And what says I was gonna make a point that you said, but yeah, these people they're simple minded. They listen to the propaganda, right? They listen to that propaganda, which tells them that one thing is going on, but in reality, a whole nother thing is happening, right?
That's
Because
right.
what do you consider winning, right? What truly, how are you winning? They won't tell you that. How are you losing? They're not going to tell you that because they want to try to keep the people excited. But this is a war that the people don't want. This thing, they just came out of not two world wars, but two so-called wars, which was conflicts in the Middle East. And the first thing in people's minds is we don't want to be back in the Middle East for another 20, 30 years. Well, it ain't got another 20, 30 years, but in their minds, 20, 30 years doing and not knowing why we over there. Right? You said Iran was going to attack you, and then you attacked Iran. They had 3 meetings. The guy said it. He said, we had 3 meetings with these people. The first 2 meetings, they started attacking us while we was having a meeting. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these people can't keep their word. And then he wants a ceasefire. They don't want a ceasefire, bro. And I saw this one video where the guy said that this is a war of attrition. Basically, you got one side that got all of these advanced weapons, which is America, and then you got another country that has semi-advanced weapons. And so they really supposedly only working on what they got. So a lot of those drones that they have, they're like they're cheaply made. So you can make them shits for like $1,500 to 100,000, right? You can make these shits, and that's what they're fighting America with, hitting these different locations in the Middle East, right? And it's only a matter of time, and we getting ready for more T attacks is going to happen. And what it could be an inside job like 9/11, and they're going to blame it on Iran just to galvanize you to get excited to go to war. You got it, brothers.
I was gonna say, I seen today that like Russia is been helping Iran by their satellites to find where Americans are based at, so they can attack them.
Yeah, and see that, like the elder said, this has to happen. This ain't, and like you said earlier, World War III is happening in our lifetime. It ain't gonna be happening 50 years from now or 30 years from now. No, it's happening right now. What they've done in terms of Babylon the Great and the many hats over there to the Iranians, you can't turn back now. And that's why even the foreign minister, when he got on the news station, he said, listen, they can have footmen, soldiers, boots to the ground, and we'll be ready for them. Yep. And then the host was taken back, like, what? Like, you serious? Like, well, yeah. Like, you don't understand. We've been planning for this for a very long time. And he said, we made the mistake the first go around, right? As we were unprepared. But he goes, we learned from that. And because we've learned from that, we are ready this time. I just seen an article today where it was just announced they went ahead and built a grave site for up to 5,000 U.S. soldiers in preparation for them to go down. This is Iran.
Yeah. Well, America leadership from Pete Hegseth to Donald Trump, they trying to get the people's minds ready. There's going to be a bunch of casualties. They said they're not even giving you the hope that you're going to make it back. They're telling you that a lot of people going to die, but they're going to die for the people in the future.
Yep.
Right. That's what they
crazy. That's crazy.
And this Third World War, this is not something that just happened overnight. This is something that's been planned for decades. It's been in emotions. Everything's been working up to this point. And they like I was saying about the war of attrition, they were saying that basically Iran thinks that America's going to run out of its weaponry, by hitting, because when Iran throws those drones, America drops $1 million bombs on a place. And they waste them bombs. They waste them bombs by bombing what they call airfields with airplanes painted on them. So from above, they can't see. Supposedly, they can't see clear enough that that's a painting on the floor, on the ground, and they dropping bombs on the fucking painting and wasting ammo. That shit costs money.
That's some crazy tactics right there, man.
Yeah,
it is.
So again, that's a war of attrition. So they already knew it was coming, so they moved their birds other places, hit them other places. So when it really kick off, they're gonna be ready. And then I think one of you brothers had mentioned Russia stepping in there. Now Russia's coming out saying well, they already supported Iran through economics, trade, and weaponry. But now that they're like, okay, yeah, we helping them out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then this man is not the man of peace. But real quick, let me read this real quick. This is Isaiah 54, 55, and 6. Seek ye Yahweh Bashar Shai while he may be found, and call ye upon him. Oh, you got a video? Or the brother Kahai got something you want to share?
No. You
okay.
could you could finish that out. I'm just trying to look at the timestamp that I want to show.
Con, bro. So so you supposed to seek the Lord while you got an opportunity. The reason why when this message is going out to our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, this message is going out to you because see, Esau not going to warn you. He's not warning you about what he's doing and what's happening, and he's not telling you why it's happening. But only the prophets of the Lord, starting with the apostles and bishop elders of Great Millstone and brothers on down, we telling you why these things are happening. There's another precept real quick, Jeremiah 38:8, and Elder Yashar, you can break this down, bro. It's Jeremiah 38:8. I know the brother got limited time, so 38. I was at 28:8. Salakia.
28:8. Yep.
Yeah, Jeremiah 28:8. This is Jeremiah 28:8. It says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence."
Yeah, right. So right now, the prophets are back here again in their lot. They like Isaiah, Jeremiah. We don't know who they are, but they wrote these. The prophets are back then in that time, but now they're here right now, seeing what's going on. Also telling you that how Jacob be like, oh man, America can't be Babylon, America can't be this. Well, yes, America is a kingdom. Russia is a kingdom. Persia is a kingdom. So you got to have prophets here, prophesize against these great kingdoms of here, many nations, telling them, look, the Heavenly Father Yahweh Hashem Yashar is a World War III prepare for you nations to go fight over there in so-called Middle East. That's
Yeah.
what would be the apostle be saying that for long before I even, before I was even born.
Yep.
That prophesizing is saying, look, man, World War III is going to take place over there in so-called Middle East. These are the nations that are going to be in it, or the Garawas are going to draw Babylon in it. And right now it's happening in our time. And if you can't fucking see it, man, I don't know what to say to you. And then over evil, there's evils happening worldwide. Okay, pestilences. There's about to be there's about to be crazy ass diseases outbreak happening. People turning to fucking zombies from the jump shot they took. Like today I said, these dudes they didn't take one jump shot. You took about 10 of them. You still going back and forth trying to get your booster up. You don't know what you're putting into your body. And Esau is a maniac. So once he taps into that sound, people are gonna be going crazy because they already showed you in so many movies. They already did a preparation of zombies outbreak. Why do you think Esau did that shit? You think he did that? Oh, let me just out of nowhere, let me just do preparation for zombie outbreak. No, it's because there's about to be pestilences outbreak out there that's gonna take place to where so many people are gonna bow down on their knees and run to Esau for help. And the help you're gonna get from him is that he's gonna offer you a microchip that solves every fucking thing that you're going through.
Yep. It says the prophet Salakia. You got it, brother.
I was going to say, when you finish Babakwa Shah, can you pair that with the precept in Sirach 36 and 15, Babakwa Shah?
God. Sirach chapter 36 and 16?
Yeah, God, 36 and verse 15. Because that's going to back up Yashar and also that precept in Jeremiah 28.
God. This is the book of Sirach chapter 36, verse 15.
God.
Verse 15, it says, give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning, and raise up prophets that have been in thy name.
Right. So just to land back off what the beloved brother was just saying, that ties in with Jeremiah 28, because the same prophets back then, they are risen up again in these last days, just like it was told to Daniel, stand in thy light. Right. Mm-hmm. So we don't know who Daniel is today, but we know he has to be back again today. And guess what? The difference is they are given the testimony. And what's the testimony? The testimony of Yahweh Shah is the spirit of prophecy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You see? So
like when you look up that word, when you go to Revelation 19 and 10, you look up the word testify. I mean, a testament. It goes into it says committed to office of prophets, prophesizing about future events, I believe.
That word for I'm sorry.
Yeah, Revelation 19 and 10. It's like I can't to cut you off. I just want to get this out for you.
Beautiful. No, you all right. You all
right. Testimony is
Strong's G 3141. Marturia.
Right, marturia, which is testifying, the office committed to the prophets of testifying concerning future events.
There you go.
Yeah. And that's what Slacky.
Also, no, you got it, Slacky.
Now I'm gonna say that's what we're doing right now. These things we've been prophesying about these things way before it's happening right now. Again, from the apostles to the bishop elders to the brothers on down. Elder Abba Bivens, Akeem Shah, Elder Yaiqua, all of them spoke about these things, man. And then they were even further expounded on once the apostles were put into that apostleship role, right, to lead Israel. And now you seeing these things. Like, so we're not making this up, because we got the inside scoop from Yahweh Shem Shai. We ain't tapped into Esau on the left-hand side. So how could regular average men know these things? Because the prophets are old, and we doing what? We concerning future events. One, it says what one testifies testimony, i.e., before a judge. Who is the judge? Yahweh Bashem
Oh,
Yahweh.
watch my shot. Yeah, because our when we go to camp and stuff, our sanctuary, little small sanctuaries, we're making inquisition of the devil, be that of Esau, Edom. So everything that we're petitioning through, our testimony by coming out here doing these digital epistles, these sit downs and stuff like that. Okay, all of this is going back to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So it's funny because within this same chapter in Sirach, the 36th chapter, this is the very same chapter where when you start at the top of the chapter, it asks for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to basically have mercy upon the nation of Israel and to show himself before the nations, to show new wonders and stuff like that. And we're seeing it right now in terms of, okay, he's working a mighty work, okay, in the midst of us in this very day. That's why all of this stuff is going on. Okay, everything is brewing. Everything is right on time of where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's a heavy year, brother. It's only the third month. It's only the third month.
Man,
the beginning of the third month, and it's like, whoa, what? Everything is gonna go. So Sirach chapter 36 verse 1: Have mercy upon us, O Lord, Most High. Have mercy upon us, O Lord, Heavenly Father, power of all, and behold us, and send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee. And that's what's happening. Because these people are fearing war. And what's going to happen? Why is it going to happen? They blaming the dude Trump. Trump is just a middle management. He doing what the super elite want him to do, and the super elite is doing what Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai want them to do. Right? And so it says, fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee, lift up thy hand against the strange nations and let them see thy power. Right? And you're about to witness the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You're witnessing it, but you really gonna witness it in this war, especially when he sent his son back, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, with the heavenly angels, Michael the archangel, other archangels. It's gonna be wild out here, bro. And he gonna bring that fear on these nations to let them know that, hey, man, you're just a man, Hey, Kahan, you got that clip, bro?
Yeah, actually, let me read this real quick in Second Esdras, and then we'll jump back into that clip. This is Second Esdras 9:1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Right. And as you others were going into, man, these are all part of the signs that the Lord gave for us to know when the return of our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai was close. And the world doesn't see it that way. The world sees it as, oh, this is just another conflict, or this is just another hiccup that humanity is going through. But we're going to resolve it because these world leaders, they don't want to kill all these people. They don't want to really do this. But in reality, they do. Esau Edom is a devil, man. And if he could, he would destroy everybody and have robots serving them. Right. And this is why he wants to merge humans with that chip, man, because to an extent he's gonna be like the Most High towards those people that have that microchip, man. He's gonna have total control over these people, man. Right. And then this is what the Lord warned us about. Like, look, he's gonna put so much pressure on the world to where he's gonna cause a lot of people to follow after him, man. But those that receive that chip, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna die, man, because my son is gonna come back during that time, during that World War III, to what? To bring judgment and to bring salvation to those that believe. Going back to that precept you read earlier, he's gonna put that fear upon all nations, man. It's not just gonna be a couple of people. Like, no, everybody's gonna know that Yahweh Shema Shai is bringing judgment, man.
That's right.
Yep. It says, he had mentioned about measuring the time, as it says in Scripture, measure out the time diligently in itself. When I'll see as part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, Then shalt thou understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So these people, they're looking for the war, but we looking for these wars. All the stuff that's happening is precipitate. I'm sorry, say that again, bro.
Oh, so we're looking forward to, to our salvation.
Right, we're looking for salvation. So that's what these wars. The wars to us is a sign of salvation.
That's right.
It's a sign that our salvation is closer. It's coming.
Yep.
Right, because once this third world war go, once the chip gets pushed out onto the world mandatorily, and it's a fact that what we were talking about is real through the spirit of shine to you people, because we believe already. All of this stuff we believe it was going to happen before it happened, because the Lord gave us the spirit of faith, the gift of faith. But again, these things, when we see the war coming, it's not going to be like, oh man, it's the end of the world. No, Yahweh Shai's coming. When we see the chip getting pushed out, oh no, man, we got to be part of this. No, man, Yahweh Shai is coming, right? Our kingdom is coming. It's nearer than when we believe.
That's right.
To us, that's it's like when we see the wars happen, the famine, the death, the pestilence, the destruction. To us, that's like the weather changing, man. Oh man, it's gonna rain today. Oh man, to us, oh man, salvation is coming, right? When we start looking, it said when these things, Yahweh Shai said, when these things happen, look up, for your salvation draweth nigh. So we gonna look up for, what are we looking up for? The chariots. Yep. You see the missiles coming? Yeah, it's gonna scare people. It's supposed to, but the righteous gonna scarcely be saved. They're gonna be saved. So when we know who's bringing the power, we know who's really behind this whole thing, right? Whereas the world, they don't know. They don't know if the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers doing it, because they ain't showing their face. Yep. You got it, Salaki, bro.
All right, no, you're correct.
Hey, Akim, can I get a few more precepts, and I'll be out of here.
Come on, brother. Come on, what you need, bro?
Yeah, so I had Lamentation chapter. Is that Lamentation 3? Like, hold up. Lamentation chapter 3, verse 37 and verse 38, Baba Kusha.
Yeah.
This is going back to where you had brought out what is that, Jeremiah 28 and 8. So Lamentation 3, if you can read if you want to, Elder.
You got it, Kahan.
All right, this is Lamentation 3 and 37. Who is he that saith, and it cometh to pass, when the Lord commandeth it not? Out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good?
Oh, right, yeah, bro. Salaki, can you read that verse again? Salaki, I didn't get you.
No, you good.
Lamentation 3 and verse 38. Out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good?
Okay.
Right. So, when you go back to 37, it says what he's talking about is basically you got like Trump, or Trump and some other people coming out talking about that, this is not gonna go forth. World War III is not, like this war is not gonna happen or take place. But guess what? It is gonna take place, because Yahweh Hashem and Shah have already given this prophecy to the prophets who prophesied about it. Saying that this is gonna happen. America's gonna be left looking like a lake of fire, dust laden. The land of Israel is gonna be taken. The 2/3 of our people gonna die. If that has been written, that means it's gonna happen. Okay, there's no avoiding that. Okay, the scripture says Isaiah 55:11 that the words of Yahweh Shemshah does not go out void. That's going into this prophecies, man, and we know for sure. So out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth even all good. When the prophets came on the scene, and when you go into ancient time, they always had bad news. So we got bad news for these heathens, starting with the elite, the Esau, Amalek, the rest of these heathens, and the 2/3 of our people. We got bad news for you, man. Judgment is coming. As the what is that, second Ezra 16, where it says like all these things. No, second Ezra 16. I think it's in the book of Sirach, where it says floods, fire, all these were created for the wicked. So we got bad news for you people who are wicked. These things are about to fall up on you, and you're gonna have to go through it to be cleansed. So when we come on how and byways, we open our mouth. That's basically how about Hashem Shah speaking unto us, telling you what your future is gonna be like. And Esau does not like hearing it, that he's gonna be exterminated and be taken out. He don't want to hear that. These other nations, they might be cool with it because they're not gonna be exterminated. So eventually they're gonna have to be like, you know what? We know like Esau, so we good. The 2/3 of our people, they're gonna fight against it. Oh, how can God do that? Yeah, nigga, you're gonna do that. Like, what the fuck you talking about? He's gonna take you out. But but the thing is, there's mercy for you. You're gonna eventually gonna come back to the families that make it out of here, the elect. You're gonna come back as a perfect baby. You see?
Yeah.
So, and we in our time right now. Out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth evil and good, and the good is the good news, the good tidings that goes to the elect. Okay, who's about to receive their salvation, as like the elder was saying, that our salvation is coming as all these things are getting closer, and like World War III and all these other plagues are getting closer. That's when our salvation is getting closer, because when Yahushua comes back, he's coming for vengeance and also for what? Redemption, redeeming his own friends, the elect. So that's the good news for us. But the bad news is for you wicked. And Lord willing, we endure unto the end. We fight, fight a good fight and receive that salvation, man. We praying for that,
Con. You got another precept before you roll, bro?
Well, I had that precept you paraphrase. I don't know if you want me to read it for you.
You can. Yeah, Baba Kusha, can you read it?
This is in the book of Ecclesiasticus 40 and verse 9. It says, "Death and bloodshed, strife and the sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and discords. All these things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood."
There you go. So we know for this, the modern plagues that we're waiting on, right? Such as like, because this time it's not gonna be flood by water. This time it's gonna be flood of fire. Okay, a lake of fire. So that's gonna be what? That's gonna that fire right there that take place. That was created for the wicked to go through it. And how about Shimshai is gonna make sure, like, that them people who are meant to be in it feel it. Death by pain, man. And then all them jack playing games right now, man, who's not really doing what they're supposed to be doing, just see bullshitting and shit. Like the ones who know the truth, but they're telling you a wolf ticket, telling you, oh man, look, man, ain't no jack of trouble. The microchip is no what it is. What else, man? Like the white man is gonna make it. The liquefies in America. Come on, man.
ISUPK said Jacob Trouble is for punks.
Yeah, there you go. So
yeah, these niggas, man, you gonna die, man. These niggas, you gonna perish, man.
Yeah, man. Like every word that it's like, what is that? Last precept, and I'm gonna leave you brothers alone, man. I got to go. What is that? Is that is that Matthew 12? Every idle word that man should speak should be held accountable.
Yeah, Matthew 12 and 36 and 37, I believe.
Yeah, man. Hey, because we about to see these dudes really eat their own words, man. Their own devices.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's for the wicked. It ain't for us. No. Man, you got two on this earth. You got the righteous and you got the wicked. It's for these wicked. Esau Edom, his kingdom. He's done.
Yep.
He ain't not again. And you got the wicked. You got the wicked of our people, 2/3. They're gonna die, right? They're gonna have to die, and then the way they come out of that is being born as brand new babies, man. So they're gonna know the truth at the death by pain. You got a ton of Israelites getting on social media speaking against the Israelites, talking crazy, man. You gonna die, nigga.
and they don't know they're really preparing themselves for a judgment for doing that.
Yeah, because that's not a light thing. Because you think you talking against us as men, all these guys, but you talking about the prophets of the Lord, bro. You talking against Yahushua word. You speaking you trying to go against that word. The white man can be saved. Esau, the Most High didn't. Yahushua didn't say that Esau could be saved. He said he's gonna be destroyed. But
Elder, in the Revelation it says the ones that when you take away from the Bible, you add and you add onto the Bible, the plagues that are in this book shall fall upon you. So, man, hey, good luck to Hakai and Hassad. What God are you gonna pray up to? Jesus Christ? Because when you call up on Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and that phone is not gonna ring, man. That phone has no fucking answer for you, my man. You through, you finish.
Yeah, that G-Wagon ain't gonna save you, nigga. How his gas is right now, nigga. You know how much it costs to put a G-Wagon on full, nigga? I hope you got it. Shit,
Hey,
And the
when
G-Wagon, that shit's gonna be burning.
it's gonna be burnt.
Con,
Hey,
after you
how's it gonna afford? Hey, Elder, how's it gonna afford gas when you know that 98 hits $10 a gallon? Come
He
on,
gonna
man.
be, he gonna
damn,
be, he better sell a kidney, nigga. Okay, you better sell a fucking kidney. But
He's
you got,
gonna raise the premium on those subscriptions.
oh yeah. It's crazy, bro.
yep.
It's all kinds of shit. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah, this shit is crazy, bro.
Hey,
The coin.
Yeah, can you read this, Murphy, and I'm gonna let your brothers go, man.
This is on the book of St. Matthew 12:35. It says, "A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. But I say unto you that every idle word that man shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment."
Yeah, and then I remember, like, you know, them two dudes really complained that, oh, Jim must be saying, man, you know, how about shit's gonna destroy me and my family? And we like, bro, like, are we lying about that? Have you checked yourself? Have you looked yourself in the mirror lately and listened to what you're teaching? Are we lying? Please come to us and say, oh, JMS is lying on me. Like, you know, really twisting the scriptures and adding and taking away from the Bible. And then if you say we lying on you, that everything you're saying is right, okay, cool. Then we're wrong. But again, you're the one who's wrong. You adding and taking away. And we know what the scripture says, that the plagues that are written in this Bible are gonna fall upon you. If they fall upon you as a man, guess what? Your whole household is fucking gone through, man.
Yep. Yeah. Can you precept that when you finish Babako Shah? I believe it's James chapter 3 and verse 1, but read it in the AMP.
God, this is James 3 and verse 1 in the AMP. It says, "Not many of you should become teachers, serving in an official teaching capacity, my brothers and sisters, for you know that we who are teachers will be judged by a higher standard, because we have assumed greater accountability and more condemnation if we teach incorrectly."
Yep.
Right. So, like the brother said, you have to really like Elder Apostle Gabar always says, most of you brothers really don't understand what you are involved in, right? You come into this thing, you learn a couple of precepts, you learn a few breakdowns, and then you go out there and think you own one more than the apostles, right? And then you coming out with some silly ass doctrine now talking about the nations can be saved, talking about some Amos 9 with the whole, you know, we shall possess them and everything. That's talking about the heathens, they are called by Yahweh's name, which that's BS, right? So guess what? All this little slick shit that you, Deacon Hakai and Hassad, that you're doing, it's not gonna go unnoticed, man. You're going to receive the greater condemnation because, like the brother said, you're adding to the scriptures.
Yep.
Yep.
You don't fear the Lord.
So with that, Akim, you know, that's it for me. That was the minutes I had to spare. I gotta you know, bounce right now.
God, brother. What ate the water? Jaquan for linking
The
up.
water, the water.
No worries. You know, hey, how about Shin Brakatham, and then hey, you know, Lord willing, we can do another live lesson, you know, in the days to come. So, hey, Shalom Akim, Yahba Shin Brakatham.
Good to hear from you, bro. Shalom, Asher.
Shalom, y'all.
God. All right. Khan, so you had something else, Kahan?
No, the clip kind of went off topic, so just,
I'm gonna go back to
with the spirit.
I'll go back to the original clip that I had. I had a couple videos because I know the spirit had us go a lot of different places, but we're gonna try to double back and wrap it up soon. But let me play this real quick.
So obviously that last one is the only one that has not yet come to fruition. Is quite a stunning prediction. You know, do you stand by it, and what have you seen so far that leads you to sort of stand firm in that conclusion?
So given my analysis of how the war is progressing, I think that Iran has many more advantages over the United States. The reality is that right now, It's a war of attrition between the United States and Iran. And the Iranians have been preparing 20 years for this conflict. In their eschatology, in their religion, this is a war against the great Satan. They've had many practice runs. Last June was a 12-day war when the Iranians were able to examine and analyze the strike capacities of both the Israelis and the Americans. And they've had a lot of time, 8 months, to prepare fully for this new attack. They, through their proxies, the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Shia militias, have been able to really grasp the American mentality. And now they have a pretty good strategy of how to weaken and ultimately destroy the American empire. So what the Iranians are doing is they're waging war against the entire global economy. And so they are striking the GCC countries. And not only are they striking GCC countries, American bases, they're going after the critical energy infrastructure of these bases. They blocked off the Strait of Hormuz. And eventually, they will go after the water desalination plants, which is the lifeblood of these nations because they don't have fresh water supply. In fact, the water desalination plants provides 60%.
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring, I ain't gonna play all of this clip, but he had said something, he had said a couple of things that he spoke about there in a war of attrition, and then he called America the big Satan, the great Satan. But it's not like the Iranian nation is a righteous nation and they're fighting against Satan. No, these people are all wicked, right? And they're used as pawns on the chessboard of Yahweh Shai, right? It don't matter the reason why they're in there. The fact of the matter is that they're in there, right? And this is Ezekiel 38:1. It says prophesy about Gog in the future invasion of Israel, because that's what's going to end up happening. That the state of Israel will be invaded, just like America will be. All right. So it says, and the word of Yahweh Bashar Shah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So we're prophesying against Gog, Russia, right? It says, and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog. So the Most High is not with the land of Gog, Russia, or the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, which we know that was that strength that they got back after the USSR collapsed in the 90s, like the 80s, early 90s. And I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses and horsemen, and all them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shields, all of them handing swords. So the Lord put the spirit back into this nation to reinforce their army, their military, because he's getting them prepared for a great war, right? It says, verse 5, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. We know Persia is Iran, Ethiopia, Libya, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all the bands of many people with thee. Be thou. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
So like, if you look at Ezekiel 38:5 in the AMP, it actually says Persia, and in parentheses it says Iran in there.
Ezekiel 38:5, and it's beautiful, bro. The water. Ezekiel 38:5 in the AMP. Persia, Iran, Cush, Ethiopia, put Libya, North Africa, and you can add Egypt in there too, because they're all a part of North Africa, all them countries. But so it says Libya, comma, and North Africa, with them, all of them with shield and helmet, right? Let me see the other one. It says verse 36 in the AMP. It says Gomer and all his armies. Gomer and all his troops, Beth Togarmah from the remote parts of the north, and all his troops, many people with you. Right? So yeah. So it says, be thou prepared, prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Right? When we read that in the AMP, it says, you, Gog, be prepared, prepare yourself, you and all your hordes that are assembled around you, and be a guard and a lookout for them. Right? And that's what Russia is, a guard and a look. Let's look at that word for guard in the interliner. It says that word for guard there is mashamar, right? Which is what? A place of confinement, prison, guard, jail, post, observance, office, a guard, post, act of guarding. And that's what Russia is doing for Iran, right? Because Iran don't have it to really go head to head. It ain't gonna just be the state of Israel, America, and Iran. Other nations are going to join in too, and that's a world war right there. You know, y'all had anything, brothers?
Yeah, and when you read the very next verse, in verse 8, where it says, hold on, I'm just pulling it up in the KJV. After many days, when they are visited, thou shalt be visited. When you go into that word visited, it means to be appointed. Like Yahweh is actually using them for his bidding. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that goes back to the point you mentioned earlier about the Heavenly Father through his son Yahweh Shah is really the one that's controlling everything.
Yep.
You know, pulling the strings. So, you know, we have a saying, you know, in a world that, you know, all the ones, you know, the elites, the upper echelons, they're pulling the strings, but really it's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah who's really pulling the strings.
Yep. That's right. That's right. I got this video right here.
I think it's time that NATO step up. We're helping them with Ukraine. Without us, I think Putin would have gone all the way. I think we have it. I think there could have been a World War III, if you want to know the truth. If Kamala was elected, or Joe, any one of those, you know, those thinkers.
But see, this is before Iran happened. But now, nigga, it's gonna be a World War III, and you're at the head of the table. You try to blame come all over and Sleepy Joe. Nah, nigga, it's you.
If Kamala was elected, or Joe, any one of those, you know, those thinkers, I think you could have ended up in World War III. And I will say Steve Witkoff has been dealing incredibly with, but we're not going to have World War III. We want to get it stopped, but we're not going to have World War III.
You are going to have World War III. Who are you? You're a man. Yep. You don't control this. With my man Mos Def, you don't control this. You barely hold this. You know, you barely hold it, nigga. You know, real quick, this is he has said it's not going to happen. Hey, the king's heart is in the Kings.
Proverbs 21.
The book of Proverbs, chapter. Okay, Proverbs 21. Slack it, bro. Proverbs 21. Proverbs 21 and
should be the first verse.
Yeah, Proverbs 21 and 1. The water, brother. Hey, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Right, and it lines up where man's going is of the Lord. So him talking about he said there ain't going to be a World War III. There's not
have World War III. We want to get it stopped, but we're not going to have World War III. I think if
we're not going to have World War III, that's what he said. Right.
I wasn't elected. I think that could have evolved into World War III. It was
you are elected, and it is going to evolve in World War III. You see?
Yeah.
And there's another video where he was saying,
as I said earlier, I intend to be a partner in securing a better future. We're going to be working. You're going to be working with the United States, and we're going to make sure that the Middle East is going to be a safe and secure place. It's a very important place in the world. Means so much. There were so many people who said the Middle East, and this has been going for many, many decades. I've read it many times that World War III will begin in the Middle East. It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. There was a time that you would have thought it could have, but it's not going to happen. There won't be World War III, hopefully at all, but it's not going to start in the Middle East. We're not going to have a World War III if we're smart. Never be a World War III.
You're not smart, nigga.
You're not smart. You're the basis of men. Hey, that's because you nearly read it. That was in Isaiah 55:7, where it tells you his word shall not return back unto him void. So if the prophecy is set where it tells us that this has to happen, right? Then guess what? it has to happen. Salakia, not verse 7. I think it's verse 11. You can read that.
This is the book of Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it.
Right. So that's going into that. Again, his words are faithful and true. And the Most High, as it says in Numbers, he is not a man wherein he shall lie. Right. So whatever he says and he puts into the mouth of the prophets to speak and write down, those things have to come to pass. Matter of fact, there's a precept I think it's in Psalms where it says he put his word above his name, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, find that for you. That word above thy name, if I'm saying it right. Yeah, it's Psalms 138 and verse 2.
Yep, Psalms 138:2. I will worship toward thy holy temple and praise thy name for thy loving kindness and for thy truth, for thou hast magnified thy word above all thy name.
Right. So in retrospect, what that's actually going into is that, even though his name is more important, all right, and nobody should blaspheme his name, he's saying that, in other words, that when he says something, and this is speaking of the Heavenly Father, right, his word is so important that he even puts it above his name. So even if the scriptures tell you that you have to magnify his name, how much more than the words that come out of his mouth? That's why the scriptures calls him a faithful and true power, a justice power.
That's right. And the AMP says, I will bow down and worship toward your holy temple and give thanks to your name for your loving kindness and your truth, for you have magnified your word together with your name. So Al-Bashir al-Shai's name and word is held in high esteem. So for this dude to say, for him to say that World War III is not going to happen, there's not going to be a World War III if we're smart. You see, he kept throwing these if we're smart, this unsurety, because he's uncertain, because he don't know. He ain't really, he knows, but he don't understand that America is not going to come out good on this side. Right? These are all, it ain't just America, all these Edomite nations. Well, Germany, France, the UK, you're Edomite, you're done. Right? Your time is up. When this war kicks off, and it will, right? You're gonna get swallowed up. And then Yahweh Shai is gonna come back and destroy your armies in the Middle East, what you call the Middle East, over there in Saudi Arabia. It's like one big boxing ring, right? Where all you nations will be there, you're gonna be getting busy, you're gonna die there. And you're gonna have no military, you're gonna have no economics system, you're gonna have nothing, and you're gonna be unhappy. Right? You're gonna have nothing and be unhappy because you're going into slavery. Yeah. Right? You're gonna be brought to your knees, man.
That's right.
Yeah, and it tells you Salaki, go ahead.
You got it, brother. You got it.
No, you got it.
Go ahead, Salaki.
Yeah, so you ain't gonna win, bro. You can't stop the inevitable, man. Even Thanos said that I am inevitable. Yahweh Shai is inevitable, bro. If you were truly smart, you would work with these nations to try to avoid it, but you can't because it ain't in you to work with other nations. And even if you couldn't do it because the Lord has created you for something, right? Everybody has a role on earth. You don't control nothing. The super elite, they don't control this. They think they do, but they don't realize that, hey, look, man, you playing right in the hands of Yahweh Shai. However this war ends, which we know how it's going to end, you're not going to come up on the top. Your MOTB system, your B system, and your New World Order, that shit ain't gonna pan out, right? You're not gonna be the top guy anymore. You're done. The Lord's coming back to destroy those that destroyed the earth, and you destroyed the earth. You destroyed the Lord's people. You destroyed the earth. Come on, man. All you do is bring war, and then you say out your mouth, "I'm not a man of war. I don't like." Well, he said he likes war. Oh, I love war. Trump said that. I'm gonna see if I can find it. You got it, brothers.
Go ahead, brother Khan. I know you have something to say.
No, I was agreeing with you, brothers. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna add in, if I may. It tells you in Psalms the 10th chapter that basically through the wicked's pride, through his countenance, he will not seek after the Most High, because the Most High is not all of his thoughts, right? So it's asinine to sit up there and to put your resources into another country that is claiming to be us, that have hijacked our identity, calling themselves the people of the Holy Land, right? Which the prophecies tells you that when the true Israelites go back into the land, there will not be any war. They will be at peace. But yet everybody within Western Asia Minor, as the beloved Elder Malcolm always says, right, is turning against you. Now you have this situation where they are being despised amongst the heathen, pursuant to Obadiah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that shameful spewing is upon their glory. So now everything is coming out of the woodwork with these devils, and they've lost total control of the narrative. And what makes matters even worse, as it says in Revelation, the 17th chapter, now the beast is turning against the whore, because what happened when they reached out to Spain to ask for to use the basis, Spain said no, because that doesn't fall under the U.S. charter. And when you look up the actual U.S. charter, it has 2 exemptions, and one of those exemptions is unless they have to use self-defense if they've been attacked. Now you understand why certain bases that were attacked, they tried to blame it on Iran, only to find out the Iranians never did it. It was the actual Israelis, the mini hats.
Yep. Oh, real quick, let me play this clip real quick.
Okay, Slocky.
I'm really good at war. I love war in a certain way.
Including with nukes. Yes, including with nukes.
I know more about ISIS than the generals do, believe me.
Nuclear is just the power, the devastation is very important to me.
Yeah, the nuclear, but he said ain't gonna be no nuclear war. But you said you love war. You said the nuclear, just the power, the devastation is very important to you. Why? Because you're a man of destruction. You're the son of perdition. Right?
Yeah.
But you don't understand. It's over. You're not gonna have nothing. America's gonna be destroyed. What you got? None of your investments across the world is gonna matter. Your what is it? Your golf courses in these different countries. That shit's not gonna matter. You're done.
I want to be unpredictable.
Priorities USA Action is responsible for the content of this ad.
Yeah, so you got
double. The scripture says a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways, and that's Esau.
Yeah, this nigga is unstable for real, man. You got some kind?
Okay. No. Let's.
Let me go back to this clip right here.
Of the GCC's water supply. So if a drone, and these drones cost $50,000, if they wiped out a desalination plant in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and it's a city of 10 million people, right? They'd be out of water in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. And right now, the Iranians have de facto closed off the Strait of Hormuz, and the GCC gets 90% of its food from the Strait of Hormuz. So I know
they threatened to closing that too. So we don't know what that's going to look like. And brothers was talking about gas earlier. I was watching videos earlier, and gas is up, bro. I went to go get some. Well, I ain't go get out. Drove by the gas station. That shit was $3.89, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And in other places, it's probably even higher. If it's $3.89 on post, it got to be like $3.99 on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Shit is getting real out here, man.
Yeah, it went up an extra 30 to 45 cents over here too.
And it's gonna
they go by the liter. So if it's $3.89 back there, it's about, if you look at a liter, that's about $2.85, $2.99, close to it over here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hormuz closed. I asked, is the Strait of Hormuz closed? As of early March 2026, the Strait of Hormuz is experiencing a near total effective closure to commercial shipping due to intense conflict between Iran, the U.S., and Israel. Right? Real quick, this is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 45. Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh Bashar Shai that he taketh against Babylon. See, here it is. Yahweh Bashar Shai has a counsel against Babylon, but they're talking about they're going to be fine. Everything's going to be all right. when they shall say peace and safety, and sudden destruction gonna fall upon them, man. He have taken against Babylon, and his purpose that he have purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Right. So here it is. These two nations, Babylon the Great, that the least of the flock was the state of Israel. They're both gonna be desolate together. It says in the NLT, listen to the Yahweh Shai's plan against Babylon. Now, who plan matters more, man's plan or Yahweh Shai's plan? I would say the latter, Yahweh Shai's plan, right? It says, listen to Yahweh Shai's plan against Babylon and the land of the Babylonians. Even the little children will be dragged off like sheep, and their homes will be destroyed, right? And the AMP, therefore, hear the plan of Yahweh Shai, which he have devised against Babylon, and hear what he has purposed against the inhabitants of the land of the Chaldeans. Surely they will be dragged away, even the little ones of the flock. Surely he will make their habitation desolate because of them. So America's going to be made desolate because of who? Because of Israel. Because of Israel, right? They're joined together. It says, as of early March 2026, the Strait of Hormuz is experiencing near total effective closure to commercial shipping due to intense conflict between Iran and the U.S./Israel, causing global energy markets to surge. While Iran has not officially declared a total legal closure to all vessels, it has warned that the waterway is shut. And you see, and you got the map right here, how traffic is dried up. How traffic is dried up from the Strait of Hormuz. February 28th, you had all of this traffic. March 1st, it got lesser, and then March 3rd is lesser, and then they got a live one right here. Look at this shit, bro. There's barely anybody moving, and all these ones just stuck right here. These red dots, they can't go nowhere. They can't go past where they at. They stuck there. You know what I'm saying?
He mentioned, he was mentioning how the missiles they use for the Iron Dome, they cost. I was reading they cost millions of dollars, man, and they're pretty much using them to defend against like $40,000-$50,000 drones, and that pretty much is unstable economically, man. So what is ESO gonna do? He's gonna reallocate budgets here in the U.S. so that they could create more weapons, put it towards a bigger military budget, and they're gonna cut off more social programs. They're gonna take away from the people, man, and causing more instability here in Babylon the Great, man, which is gonna make people go even more crazy. Adding fuel to that civil conflict, civil war, you could call it, right? So it's a lot of things that are gonna come out of this war, man. It's not just gonna be over in the Middle East. A lot of Americans think, oh well, everything's good. We can still go to work. We still, could go to the mall and shop and shit. But it's gonna come a time where it's not gonna be like that, man. Because everything's gonna go up. Inflation. You're gonna probably end up having to pay for all your medical. Who knows? Right?
It might have took it off because we live.
Yeah, I was going to say real quick, just to back up the beloved brother, that's going to play a major role, because once if the oil's not coming in, that means your gas, your petrol, your diesel, that stops. So what happens for all of especially when you go into logistics, right? When the trucks cannot drop off the freight into those warehouses because the price of diesel has gone astronomically high. Okay, that means your freight stops. The storehouses then becomes what? They become empty, and that's prophecy. Mm-hmm. So, as Elder Apostle Hari even said, we already got inflation. We're headed into hyperinflation.
Yeah.
So there's nowhere else left of the dollar but to be for the economy to pretty much to go into a recession, which we are already in a recession. They just not saying it, right? But the whole point is they need to crash the dollar.
Well,
right?
They need to crash the dollar because they got to bring in that chip.
They got to bring in that chip, Con.
They're bringing in that digital You know what I'm saying? So all this is done on purpose, right? Trump has been devaluing the dollar. Well, his decisions have been doing it since he got into office because it's supposed to be a controlled demolition. And all of these people are on the same side. They all work for each other because they work. I mean, they all work with each other, and they work with the super elite. All these people. It doesn't matter what nation. They all work together with the super elite banking families. None of these people are uncompromised. Iran is completely compromised. America is completely compromised. The state of Israel is compromised. So since Iran rejects ceasefire negotiations, says ready for U.S. ground invasion, and that's what they want, right? That's why Trump was saying more people going to die. There's going to be a lot of. Trump said there's going to be a lot of casualties, right? Because they want people to sacrifice to Satan, right? Trump says there will be more casualties.
Well, I had asked the chat, about how hard would it be for the U.S./Israel to get troops on the ground in Iran, and it says a large U.S.-Israeli ground invasion of Iran would be extremely difficult militarily, geographically, and politically. It's widely considered one of the hardest possible modern military operations. So it's pretty much a fucking suicide mission, man.
Mm-hmm.
But like you were going into, this is all part of Esau's plot, man, to create a situation that's going to cause global instability so that they could bring what the chip, man.
Yep.
They've already set up the infrastructure decades ago for the digital, the digital markets, all of that stuff. Esau's been rolling that shit out for decades already, but now it's already out everywhere, and all they need is the right crisis, which is gonna be this war, to roll out this chip, man.
Yep. Yep. And because you got a lot to get over, you can't just get over. You ain't gonna just. It's not a desert where you could just drive into and then take that country over. It's not like Iraq. They got mountains. They got a desert within the interior of their country, right? It's a lot of shit going on, right? That's why nobody is ever wanting to Iran and truly taking it over like that. Since the time of what's this guy, what's this dude, Alexander the Great, right? So it says right here, hold on, brother. I just asked the question to I asked Trump says there will be more casualties. It says Trump and Hegseth awkward comments about U.S. troops death in Iran. It says President Trump was asked if Americans needed to worry about possibility of terrorist reprisal by Iran inside the U.S. Hegseth and highlights government reluctance to show human cost of war. Yeah. Trump says there will likely be more U.S. deaths, right, as Iran strikes to continue until all goals achieved, right? So it says, let me see. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that out. You got something else, Con?
No.
You got, hey, bro, you got something? Is he still here?
Nah. It's just, as we said earlier, everything is playing out, and it's on time. The prophecies are speeding up on the pages, and with everything that's centering around what's going over there in the Levant region, that we have to be close to them bringing the chip. We just have to.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be, because everything else, all of the bread and circuses have stopped.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And everything is getting serious because, as I said earlier, they've lost control of the narrative. If you, I've been watching, apart from the Western media, I've been watching the East, like Times of India, WEON News and stuff, and they've been reporting the realness of the situation, and it's not looking good for Babylon the Great. So much so that we ain't seen Netanyahu's face. Where is he at?
Yeah.
We haven't seen dude ever since the foreign minister of Iran said that they got a hold of his location of his war room where he holds his meetings at. They said they know where dude is at.
Yeah, he in hiding.
So you know what I'm saying? We here, and it's only a matter of time, as you said, Zaquan. We only in March,
In March. We ain't even hit. It ain't even springtime yet.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just the 6th of March, man. It's just the 6th of March, man. But that's all I had. You had something else, Kahan?
Nah, that's pretty much it from my side.
What about you, brother?
No, that's it, Zaquan. It's all good from here on out. And the water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, that we're seeing the end of this. We're totally here. This is it.
That's right. Hey, so with that, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, saying a double honor to the apostles and the bishop elders of Great Millstone for teaching his word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutation to the elect. Keep pushing, keep striving. And we almost out of here. Hey, shalom.
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 Hold on for a second, brothers. Don't hang up.